So what's going on, guys? It's Captain America. Hope you guys are well, and thank you so much for coming onto this channel. So as always, what we're going to do is start off with the match stats for this Pro Club game, in which we did win 6-0, before we move over to yesterday's Champions League fixtures, plus today's Champions League fixtures, and as well as Tuchel getting sacked and my thoughts and opinions around that. So yeah, so let's get right away into this. So as mentioned, 6-0 win on our side, a great performance from the boys. 55% possession, 11 shots in total from us versus 7 from the opposition. My rating for this game was 10 out of 10. I was playing as a cam again, and I had 1 goal with 3 assists, so a hat-trick of assists. And then again, with then my performance side of things, 85% passing accuracy, 100% dribbling accuracy, and then 2 tackles at 50%. And then the man of the match was Teak with a hat-trick of goals, 3 goals as well as 1 assist. So GG's to the team. Now what we're going to do is we're going to quickly move across to like the gameplay and how the match went in terms of the goals before, as mentioned, we move into the real life discussions as always. So the first goal was a great team goal. You know, Teak played very well in terms of the interception that he made with the pressing, and then he passed it over to X for the finish. Second goal was a through ball from myself to X, and then a great shot from him again. And then a third goal was a boom team goal, to be honest with you, a great pressing overall from our defensive side of things in our half, moving it across quickly to the opposition side of things, passing it over to Teak, and then a good build up and a good goal from that side of things. And the fourth goal, X to me, which you know, was a great pass inside the box, and then my body position was very awkward. So when you look at the goal, the fourth goal for myself, you'll see that it was a strange goal, but I'm glad that it did go in. So yeah, GG's to me. And then the fifth goal, so that's myself to Teak. And then he getting a really good goal within the box and a good finish. And then the sixth goal again to complete the hat-trick from Teak. Great finesse shot from outside the box, curled in, left the goalkeeper stranded in the dive, and yeah, well done to Teak on that. So do enjoy the game, guys, while we discuss around today's topics. So there's a lot to discuss, hence why I wanted to speed things up in terms of the highlight side of things. But while you guys enjoyed that, you know, I want to speak about some of the matches from yesterday, and yeah, just to share my thoughts around that. So, you know, I didn't place any predictions or any thoughts on the Dinamo Zagreb versus Chelsea game yesterday because there's no need. The reason why is because Chelsea should have won this 4-0 or 3-0, expected, you know, to go up against an opposition such as this in the Champions League. You know, they should be winning these type of games. They did lose 1-0, but the goal that was scored was a great team build-up from Dinamo Zagreb. You know, the pace that the guy had, the strike, I don't know what his name is now, but a great, you know, run that he made against Fofana, who Chelsea have just bought in from Leicester. He literally outpaced this man. So, you know, a great goal from him. It was like a Crespo type of esque passing goal that he done, literally just past Kepa. But overall, a great, strong performance from Dinamo Zagreb. They had a lot of chances, Chelsea, as well. They hit the post, but the goalkeeper maintained for Dinamo Zagreb a very strong performance on his side. So well done on that. And then at the end of the whole game, you know, with the 1-0 loss, it looks as if Tuchel has now been sacked by Chelsea, which is, and the thing is, again, it's the turnover of managers that Chelsea has, and it's always going to be expected because regardless if you win the Premiership or whatever it is, like, they still want furthermore in terms of trophies year over year. It's just the high expectations which are set, plus, you know, the amount of money that Tuchel has had to spend on players has been phenomenal as well. You know, he's bought like literally a full 11 of defenders. He's got Koulibaly as well as Fofana. He's got Cucurella on the left as well. Yes, he's bought Aubameyang, who, by the way, was a invisible ghost in the centre forward bit. And the thing is, I don't understand why they would go ahead with the purchase of Aubameyang, who's around 33 years old. He's back in Champions League football after like 5-6 years. And, you know, it's just one of those purchases where you're like, nah, man. Like, they're trying to get away from this curse of the number 9 forwards, which they've had. I've mentioned it a number of times in my previous videos. You know, the curse that the Chelsea strikers have on the number 9 position whenever they play for Chelsea is just absolutely ridiculous. They need someone, not like Haaland, for example, but someone that is a goal scorer or a poacher. And we thought, you know, Chelsea thought that they could get that back with the signings of like Lukaku as well as Werner, but I don't know what they're doing with the striking side of things. They've always been fantastic defensively, Chelsea. It's always one of those ones where, yes, they might only concede like 1 or 2 goals, but again, defensively, they've always had a strong performance. But when they do attack in terms of their striking position, that's where they've always lacked. You know, the only two strikers that played well for Chelsea were Drogba and Diego Costa. Since then, they've been absolutely horrible. You know, they are not. Yes, they have, or they were rumored with a number of key signings as the attacking positions over this market. But yes, you know, they lost the likes of Rafinha to Barca. Same with De Ligt moving over a centre back over to Bayern. And you've got Anthony Gordon, who they were going for like a ridiculous, let's say, bid for 60, 70 mil. Yes, he's done well for Everton for now. Like, he looks as if he's playing very well. But again, is that the purchase that they want to make? Especially as he's not a striker. He's like a left winger or a midfielder. But that's one problem which Chelsea really need to look at resolving. If it's like a coaching side of things, if they need to get another attacking coach in to really, you know, implement a philosophy in the attacking side of things that they'll get more goals in. Because again, you know, against Liverpool, for example, in the two cup finals that they had, yes, they went to 0-0, but they lost out into the penalties. But again, there wasn't any goals happening for either side. But again, Chelsea, for example, that's one area that they should be focusing as a priority. Defence, as mentioned, they've always been strong. They've always been strong in defence. But attacking like an actual out-for-out number 9 is something that they really need to look into and invest further in. But it's going to be saddening if Graham Potter, who's been rumoured for the likes of Chelsea, you know, Brighton have mentioned like it's okay for him to talk to Chelsea. I really hope he doesn't go to Chelsea. I'll tell you why, because I've bigged him up in so many different videos, Graham Potter, okay, for Brighton. And he's this coach where he's systematical, like he's very good with his data side of things. He's lost 2 of his key players, Cucurella as well as Basuma. Maybe he might have a reunion with like Cucurella at Chelsea, but regardless, like the key thing is him moving over to Chelsea and the turnover of managers that Chelsea have had. Yes, they do now have a new owner, so maybe it might be a new philosophy that they'll bring in. Maybe, you know, Tuchel was with the whole Roman era side of things, and they're like, look, we want to get a fresh start. But they did give Tuchel a lot of money to spend on. And, you know, Brighton's been doing fantastic this year, especially with the 2 players that they lost out, as mentioned. And, you know, the way that he manages them to get the best out of the players is absolutely phenomenal. Now, it's always going to be a case when you have these high players' wages that you need to manage in terms of, you know, how they play, the morale side of things as well. And just generally, like, the managing of, like, the actual players is going to be very key. He'll be good for Chelsea. Don't get me wrong, he's going to be good anywhere he goes, but I don't know if, you know, the patience of the Chelsea board as well as the owners is something that they could allow for Graham Potter, because you've got the likes of Pep, as for example, you've got the likes of Klopp that have done so many years now at, you know, their clubs. Chelsea have had so much turnover within their managers over the past seasons. Same with United as well. Like, they can't fixate on one coach and give them the opportunity. So hopefully, fingers crossed that Graham Potter doesn't move, because for me, I see him being the England coach once Gareth Southgate, you know, does get sacked over this winter, you know, with this whole World Cup group of death that they've got going on. But I don't know, man. But let's see, man. England's got an easy ride as always, but you can see how they have been playing, let's say, in the Nations League, and that just shows completely against the likes of Hungary, Italy and Germany as well that they're not that great. When it comes to the World Cup, of course, they've got an easy table as such, but progression-wise further within the knockout stage is something that's going to be expected for England. So, I don't know, man. I think Graham Potter's a fantastic signing in general for any team, but I just don't want him to go to the likes of Chelsea or United and, you know, them not allowing him time to really, you know, integrate his philosophy and his vision within the club. I just don't think these 2 clubs are right at the moment. I think they, and again, I might be wrong with the Chelsea owners and the board that they have at the moment. You know, it's completely brand new to the whole Roman era. But yeah, I think, let's see. Hopefully, fingers crossed he doesn't move, because they've done so well with Brighton, and I could really see Brighton pushing for Europa and doing well. And he's always done fantastic with these, like, not underdog teams, but like Östersunds in Division 3 in the Swedish side of things. He brought them to Division 1, won the league after a very long time with them in the Swedish side of things, then progressing to Brighton, and again, he's done a fantastic job with them. So let's see, give me your thoughts on Chelsea's manager, who you think is going to be Chelsea's manager next, and if you do think that Graham Potter will be a good manager for Chelsea, which I do honestly think he will be. And again, how, you know, the philosophy around what's happening at Chelsea. So yeah, so now what we're going to do is move across to the fixtures and the results from yesterday's Champions League game. So City versus Sevilla, Sevilla at home, you know, they had a very poor start in La Liga, for example. this season. They've always been one of these teams that have done well in the Europa scene, as well as Champions League as well, but mainly Europa, to be honest with you. But again, coming up against Man City now with a striker such as Haaland, who's an absolutely insane player, man. Like, he's got a stat now where it's 25 goals in 20 Champions League matches, which is just absolutely insane as a feat, especially in the highest level of European football that you could get in club competition. But it's not just that. I did read something as well. Like, he's only played like 20 games, for example, but he's already positioned 36 or something like that in terms of like the top goal scorers in Champions League history. And he's only played 20 games in Champions League, and he's still fairly young. And it's only going to be a matter of time where he's going to be like pushing and competing against the likes of Ronaldo as well as Messi for the record of the most goals in Champions League whenever he does retire, Haaland, because he's in a fantastic team now where the style of play really suits him. Like, the way that he plays, the poacher style, is just absolutely phenomenal, man. Like, he knows where to position himself, even if it's rebounded by the goalkeeper that we did see for the second goal. He knows where to position himself and get the goals in. So no, good performance from Haaland, and it's good to see, Haaland doing well with Man City, but I just don't want Man City to go along and win the Champions League. But as mentioned yesterday, I do see the final game for the Champions League being Man City versus Bayern Munich. That's just my opinion again, but again, just do let me know your thoughts on who's going to be in the final and who's going to win the Champions League as well. I think that's going to be really good to notice. And then other results from yesterday, I did predict PSG to beat Juventus, and I was looking at the highlights as well, and the two goals that PSG scored were in like really good team play, man. Like, the first goal, Neymar doing like a really nice like lob ball over to Mbappe, and Mbappe doing like a fire volley across to goal. Second goal, good build up from Verratti over to Mbappe, and just a great finish. But again, Mbappe is quite greedy as well. There was an opportunity to actually make it 3-0 even before Juve had scored. He was running, of course, he's got the sight in mind to score a hat-trick, for example, but Neymar was well, like, clear, man, to get the through ball through to him and to score. But again, they've had this conflict going on with this love triangle of Messi, Neymar, as well as Mbappe. But yeah, let's see how that goes. And that's one reason I don't see PSG doing well, because they're just too greedy in certain areas, like Mbappe. And then another surprise result has to be Leipzig losing over to Shakhtar Donetsk. 4-1 performance and a win for Shakhtar away as well. Leipzig have been playing absolutely phenomenal as well with Nkunku as well as Werner. Doing very well in the Bundesliga, but Shakhtar's always been one of this team that's been like a bogey team in the Champions League. They've always been phenomenal at home in the Champions League as well as sometimes away, and it's a good performance for them to actually win a game 4-1 in the Champions League against Leipzig as well. So do check that out. That was actually a really good game. And yeah, guys, and today's match, we've got my team Liverpool versus Napoli. Liverpool playing away to Napoli. I think it's going to be a tough game. Again, like, Liverpool's form hasn't been great. They do look as if they're getting Thiago back, which is going to be a great, let's say, asset to have in the midfield with the likes of, I don't know, Elliott, let's say. That'll be really good with Fabinho in midfield. And then Carvalho, unfortunately, I don't know if he's still injured or not, but Nunes, for me, should be on the bench. I think Firmino should start and then Nunes should come on after. I think just Nunes in general, he just needs to get accustomed to the whole Premier League physicality and everything, and just get his morale up before he actually starts as a first-team player. We've seen the transition with a lot of the purchases that Liverpool or Klopp has made, where he does take his time to actually get them into the front, the first team. But with Nunes, it looks as if with the injuries as well, he's just put him down as a first-team player, which, again, he needs to take time to mould in. But I do see this going as 2-1 to Liverpool. And then I think the game of the day has to be Inter Milan versus Bayern. I think this is going to be absolutely phenomenal. Inter, just losing out to AC in the derby match 3-2. And then Bayern Munich again doing very strong with Mane as well, and a strong team in general that they have. And when Liverpool were playing against Inter last season, again, it was very tough to play against Inter Milan. I think Inter did beat Liverpool from what I remember. I can't remember now on top of my head, but I think that's going to be 2-2, and that's my opinion. I think it's going to be a draw, but it's going to be 2-2. So Liverpool to win, as well as Inter Milan versus Bayern is going to be a draw. But again, do let me know your thoughts. It will be good to hear from you guys in terms of like the Champions League side of things, and just generally if your team is playing, what you think about them and where you think they're going to be progressing. But that's it, guys. We are now at the end of the video. I thank you guys as always. Please do feel free to like and subscribe. And yeah, I'll catch you guys on tomorrow's video. Take care and hair grease. Bye-bye. Nice one, boys. 6-0.